So this Edpuzzle is the last type of assignment, and you're just going to do the same thing as quizzes. You're going to want to sign up, make an account, and I again would recommend using your school Gmail account and then importing your classes. You have this My Classes tab over here at the top right, and you can see these are my classes that I've already imported. If you needed to add a new one, you would just select this Add Class and create this Google Classroom button. And then same thing, you would want to do this every so often to make sure that any students who weren't in your classroom when you assigned the documents were imported before they would need to do it. And so excuse me, then you would come up here to your content and you have a few different options here. If you wanted to import a video or you wanted to just use an existing video, I would say the most likely would be using an existing video. That way you could make edits without having to do as much work. So let's say we wanted to do the distance formula. So we just click this here, this Khan Academy distance formula, and we'll push edit. If you didn't see something that you wanted to do, you could always search up here in this search bar and it'll pull up any YouTube video that you want. And there's a popular channels list on the left-hand side over here. So I think Khan Academy would be extremely useful for us. So we would click, the distance formula, any video we wanted, and we'll push edit. So the thing about these is that you can cut this video to only have the sections that are relevant to your students. So for example, this distance video formula is 10 minutes long, which is probably not going to keep the attention of the majority of our students. So you can watch it. You can drag this thing through here. And so let's say, for example, just at this 2-minute mark, that was going to be enough. So we would push add cut, and then we would be able to get rid of this whole other half. If you wanted to just cut out a middle section, you can also do that. So say he says something useful at the very end that you want your kids to see, or maybe like flash forward to the calculator, whatever the case may be, you can add another cut. So you can just have whatever useful sections that you feel like your kids need. And then when you wanted to take it out, you would just take these, you would just take them until the little trash can icon and then just hold it down. So then we would want to take this clip and we would want to drag that over. And that way we would be able to only have the parts that we would like our students to see. So as you can see now, the new time is 2:14. So that will be useful if you're using YouTube videos that you didn't create and they did have material that you didn't necessarily need your kids to see. Oh, I actually, let's see, we added this, and then we have the other one to drag it the other direction. So then this, we would just delete it and then just leave it like that. We're going to close it. So what we would want to do then is we can, if you would like to, you can embed a voiceover. So if this is something that you wanted to talk over, maybe just an example, or if it was something you were telling your students about, as opposed to somebody working on a problem where they're already voicing it over, then that would be a great option. Or you can add questions here. So at any point, you can just drag it to the point that you want the question to pop up and put multiple choice question or an open-ended question. And so if you hover over these, you can read the instructions. The multiple choice questions are graded automatically. You can see those in the Edpuzzle reports tab after you assign these to your classes. You can do open-ended ones. These are not graded automatically. However, you can get all those responses and kind of see your students' opinions. These are good for having them think a little deeper. And you can also put notes. So maybe the person who's talking uses a different word, a different vocabulary word, whatever the case may be. You can put a note to your students that will pop up to kind of clarify anything for them throughout the video. So say we wanted to have a question, right here. We'll put multiple choice question. You would just type in the question, whatever you wanted to ask them, type in the answer choices. Edpuzzle also has a pretty easy to use equation editor with the different symbols, and then you could just select which one was correct. If you wanted to add additional answer choices, you would just push this plus down here, add an answer choice, and then if you wanted, you can select which one is the correct answer. It doesn't necessarily matter. So you would just push save, and then you can travel to any area on the video and you can put an additional question. So you can put as many as you want, and then you can get a report after your students watch the video that details for them. The reports detail how long the students spent watching the video and then what answers they got correct, incorrect, etc. So when we were finished, we would just click up here, this finish button, and it'll give you a demo. You can preview how it looks to your students, how the questions look, and your students are not going to be allowed to skip through this video. So you're going to have to sit down and watch the whole thing. So really be mindful of that when you are cutting it. You only really want to assign them what they really need because they have to sit there. So you would click assign here. The steps are very similar to the quizzes. It just, the platform looks a little different. And then select the class you would like it to be. You can have it start today. You could have it start in the future. And then you could do the due date, which would be, I don't know, let's say the 27th. And click here to save. And then we want this to post to our Google Classroom. If not, you have to post the link yourself. It's pretty easy to just have it posted and then drag it to the topic that you want. So you would click that here and click assign. And then this will automatically load with the students in your class. In my demo class, I don't have any students, so you can't see it, but you would have the list of students. So I'll give you an example of how this looks. The one that we did with the geometry team. Oops. Here we go. So this will load with the students. It'll say how much they watched. It'll say if they turned in their assignment, and it'll say if they got the questions correct or incorrect. So you can use those as the templates for making sure that your students are, and then here you can download the grades, and you can export them if you would like to. So if you export them, see as that loads. It will go ahead and export that directly to your Google Classroom. So if we go back to our demo classroom, we'll be able to see the post. And just like the previous one, you can see the post, you can see the distance, and it'll have the questions, and then it'll allow them to turn it in. So you'll be able to get the data from that. And then you can just drag it around, use any topics that you want, and have your students engage that.